We're joined now by new Treaty United senior women's manager Niall Connolly. Niall, judging by your own tweets and the club's tweets, everyone is very excited by the announcement of you as manager at Treaty. You're obviously delighted with the opportunity as well.
Yeah, well, look, firstly, good evening, Adrian, and look, very excited to do this interview with you. Yeah, look, it's been exciting last number of days. Look, firstly, I'm just going to say my gratitude towards the board members of Treaty United for having, the faith in my ability to execute our long-term vision for the football club, to receive the support from a lot of people within the community locally and from afar has been very humbling. With the staff as well, obviously, I'm delighted and that we've been able to assemble the staff we have been able to get together. I think it's exciting, young staff. We're going to be very much embracing the challenges that lie ahead. And look, we're just looking forward now to, please God, with all the safety and guidelines, that we can get rocking and rolling on the pitch shortly.
Yeah, you were obviously involved as well, Niall, already with Treaty last season. You were in the backroom team as well under Dave Rooney. I know Dave Rooney and Irene Heher have moved on from their positions. Did you actually talk to Dave before taking the job, or was it just a case of you haven't been talking about it since his departure?
No, look, I do talk to Dave. Like I would have known Dave a long time before I came involved with Treaty last season. When I first got involved with North Tipperary in the school children's football league through the ETP programs, my first year in there was working under Dave with an under 14 boys squad. So I know Dave a number of years, and look, I speak to Dave regularly. Like our friendship hasn't changed one bit. And look, he's a good man as well. He's always willing to offer his assistance in any way. So look, there's been I didn't really speak to him regarding the position. Really, I wanted to be my own man in that regard when I was applying for it. But look, we do still stay in contact, and like I said, I have nothing but respect for the man. And look, as well, just briefly on Irene as well. Look, Irene is a tremendous person and has a ton of knowledge in the women's game, and she's going to offer a lot moving forward as well. So I just want to thank both of them for what they have done for Treaty, and I'm looking forward to continuing their good work moving forward.
Yeah, it's obviously a new era ushering in now. Niall, you just mentioned as well the backroom team that you unveiled last night. You had Sean Russell, former Limerick FC player, Marie Curtin, obviously a very decorated player at international level in the women's game as well, and has a lot of experience as a player. Her first sojourn into coaching. You obviously have a bit of continuity as well with Aoife Gibbons and John Paul Buckley there too. What do you think that those guys can bring for you? And obviously you have maybe two new people in, Sean Russell and Marie, but you also have a bit of continuity there. Was the continuity important?
Yeah, no, look, continuity is very important. And I think with John Paul and Aoife, look, they built up a good human relationship with a number of the players now from last season. So they've shown really good personality characteristics for that side of the game, which I think is very important. But just as well, look, for me, John Paul, I believe he's one of the best goalkeeping coaches in the country. I think his thirst for knowledge and his appetite to consistently learn and embrace who the goalkeepers are personally to get them to express themselves freely on the pitch, I think is second to none. Aoife Gibbons, she's played at a high level in the game previously, and she's going to be coming in more as a sports performance coach more than we'd say a soccer coach. She's studying sports performance in college, so we're going to utilize her knowledge and expertise in that area. So she'll be focusing on like each player's individual performance, their biomechanics, their biometrics. She'll encourage players about their nutrition. So we're very much excited what Aoife can bring in that department. Regarding Marie or Mary and Sean, Mary, she speaks for herself in terms of the women's game, her knowledge, her playing career representing Ireland, playing abroad in Norway and America. But she's very eager to coach as well. Look, she has her UEFA B, she wants to progress. But more importantly, she has the characteristics, I believe, to coach, to come straight into coaching at the highest level. And I think her experience and respect in the dressing room, I think it'd be very valuable. But she's gonna offer a lot more. Look, she's very eager and ambitious on the coaching side. And with Sean, look, to have Sean in, I'm absolutely delighted to have Sean in. As you know, Adrian, myself and Sean coached together 2 seasons ago when we were involved with Limerick FC with the under 13s. And, it's not often you create a rapport straight away with a staff member. Sometimes it takes time to build trust and that respect. But Sean and I kind of clicked straight away. We view the game very similarly, We're both very ambitious. And even with Sean, I think it's going to be interesting for the players to get an understanding of Sean and his experiences from the men's side of the game, and how he can bring that to the women's side, and how him and Mary can bring their vast knowledges together. And again, Sean's a young aspiring coach. He's got his UEFA B. He wants to progress to the UEFA A. And I think that's important, that we want players to be ambitious, but we very much want our staff to be ambitious and not afraid to challenge the status quo and be brave in our approach. And I couldn't be happier with the staff we assembled, and I'm very grateful that the board did all they could as well. So look, just thanks to everyone at Treaty for that.
Yeah, you mentioned as well, Niall, the fact that, Sean will have different experiences now. Obviously, he's been involved in the men's game, and now he's going to be involved in the women's game. But you yourself have obviously been involved in different levels of the game in terms of coaching as well. You were, as you mentioned there as well, you were with Limerick FC under 13s. You've done a lot of academy coaching and player coaching at young level, and obviously it's different level now that you're facing, and obviously it's going to be a tough challenge.
Yeah, I know. Look, it is going to be a challenge, but you know what? It's a challenge I'm looking forward to embrace, and the staff and I will embrace, and we believe what we are looking to achieve. Look, I had the experience last season of working under Dave. I learned a tremendous amount of a lot as well. John Paul and myself, we were involved in UL with the ladies team for the 2018-19 season and the 19-20 season up until COVID-19. So I do have, I have been in around kind of elite level in the women's game for the past number of years. But a big thing as well is, I understand people often say, experience, but to me, it's more about knowledge via experience. Like, you can have experience, but you could be doing the same thing for 5, 7, 10 years. Whereas if you've knowledge and you're willing to learn and grow, and look, I think ever since I started my coaching badges journey back in 2012, my whole journey's been an experience, and where I want to go, it's going to bring new experiences. And like I said, I believe in my skill set as a coach and as a person to execute what we want to achieve at this level.
Yeah, I probably should have been more specific, Sean, and I wasn't, maybe having a slight dig or anything about experience. But no, it's more of a case of, obviously people do say that, like, being the top man in the job, is different, because obviously they say, when you're a coach, you can have maybe a bit more of a rapport with the players, whereas you might have to be a bit more strict as a manager. That was kind of more the angle I was getting at, which is probably where it'll be a bit different,
Yeah, no, look, obviously, I fully understand where you're coming from. But no, look, I appreciate that anyway. But no, look, obviously, yeah, look, there is a balance between being maybe an assistant to a manager. But I think anyone that watched James Maddison interview the other night after the Leicester-Chelsea game, like, he spoke very much highly of Brendan Rodgers and how he has the players buying in and believing in what he wants. And I think very much we're kind of in a society now, Adrian, where, like, if we're looking from a sports angle, players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I think, you can be an excellent coach, but you need to have the human qualities to connect with players, emotionally, spiritually, create a good human relationship within the squad, and create a circle of safety among, a group where they feel they can express themselves and be part of something, special, and that gets them out of bed every morning. And look, again, it's a challenge, but I'm very happy with the staff. I think the staff have excellent human qualities, because I think that's the most important thing, more so than your skill set. And we're very much looking forward to creating a high performance culture and a circle of safety within the group and within the club, where we can, get that balance correctly between, like you said, being, maybe when to maybe manage more, effectively in terms of dealing with personnel, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we care for everyone as well, and we want the players to know we have their best interest at heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously a big announcement came yesterday as well, Niall, with the fact that Electricity have now come on board and are going to sponsor the Women's National League also, as well as the men's, which is obviously a great recognition for the women's game and the growth of the women's game, and hugely positive development.
Oh, look, it's absolutely brilliant. Look, when everyone seen the news yesterday, look, it was brilliant. And then you have someone of Anya O'Gorman's caliber, talking about it being, an ambassador for the women's game for so long. And it's great to see that yesterday as well, with the media and with the announcement. It's been excellent. Like, and to be honest, the women's game is just growing from strength to strength, and like I said, throughout the season, the last year, you've seen, a number of players that were playing the women's national getting called up to international squads. even at international level, you know, they're getting closer. You know, we will get there eventually as a nation. We will get to them tournaments, and it's all about the process. But the appetite for the women's game, and to, you know, more importantly, the desire to want it to grow and evolve and get to the levels of the men is absolutely excellent. And to be honest, being involved in the women's game I'm very, very humbled to be in this industry, and I'm very much looking forward to do my part to help the women's game grow as much as possible.
Yeah, also at that announcement, Niall, it was confirmed that the women's league season will start on March 26th. Gives you around, you know, approximately 8 to 9 weeks to assemble your squad. What is the plans for that? Do you have plans to change the squad massively, or is it a case of, you know, you'll be trying to just add a few players to it?
Well, look, first of all, look, I say we'll give every player that was in the squad last year equal opportunity. Look, we've very much believe in the group of players we have, and we predominantly had a very young squad. I believe a lot of these players have, you know, very good technical ability, but I believe they can reach other levels to their game. And look, as a coach, I very much enjoy and embrace the challenge of developing players. So look, we very much want to give everyone equal opportunity from last season. Of course, you know, we will be looking to bring players in that fit the profile of what we want to achieve, you know, obviously technically, tactically, but obviously there are their personalities and characteristics, that they're the right humans to come involved in our environment. But look, with the season announced yesterday for the 26th match, it's nothing but exciting, and we're very much looking forward to working hard on the training pitch, off the training pitch, really starting to execute our principles of play through our game model, and bringing something new to the league that hasn't been done before. We're very much looking forward to the challenge, and embracing all aspects of the game. And look, even today, you see the announcement with Galway Women FC, you know, Dave Bell's gone in, Lisa Fallon's gone in. Like, you know, that's brilliant, you know, to see someone of Dave Bell's caliber involved in the women's game. We all know Lisa's qualities and skill set, and that's fantastic for the league. You see Noel King, you know, in with Shelburne. So, you know, exciting times ahead with the women's national league, but you know what? It's exciting times to go and test yourself and embrace all the challenges. And again, we're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, obviously as well. Noel, you just mentioned there about Noel King and Dave Bell. They're just two of the top coaches that'll be in the league, and you'll be rubbing shoulders with them this year. It is a hugely competitive league, and I saw that firsthand, because unlike maybe the men's electricity league and other leagues in the country, you know, you've got a situation where you have players who maybe with very little experience, and young players coming up against international players who are playing for their country, you know, every week. I know we still have a lot of players overseas, but there are a lot of players that have been selected in squads, particularly from the likes of Shelburne, Peamount in recent times, and also Saoirse Noonan with Cork. So, you know, it's a really competitive league, and it just shows you it probably can be cutthroat, for the want of a better phrase, as well. It's hugely competitive.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, I was very much intrigued by the quality of games last season and the competitive nature. Like, you know, like in any sport, you know, once the game starts, you want to win, like, and there's that competitive fire. And there's a lot of good players in this country, and there's a lot of good players playing at the Women's National League. And as you said, look, we've had players represent Ireland, and there's a lot of good young players. Look, there could be a gap at times physically, but I think it's more about the belief that you give players. I think it's very important that players feel that as a club and as a staff, you believe in what they're doing, because if you believe in any person, you'll be amazed at what you'll get before you even start to coach anything else. But it's an exciting time, and to be honest, you know, people might say, oh, we don't have the players to perform X, Y, and Z. You hear very similar with the men's game, you know, with Stephen Kenny, and now people are saying we don't have the players to perform a certain brand of football. And people say it about the women's game, we probably don't have the players to play in a certain brand of football. But I believe we do. Like, I believe the players are out there. I believe we have players in the country. I believe in Treaty and we have the players. And again, I just think, you know, in time, you know, we as a nation will show our strength to the rest of Europe in terms of nationally, or, you know, at national level, and even in the women's league. You know, I think the league's going to be very exciting this year. And look, a lot of the clubs have been very active in what they're doing already, and it's only going to, you know, have more eyes on the league, and rightly so. And again, it's just great to be part of it.
It was obviously a tough start, Niall, to life maybe in the league last year. You know, you were obviously going to learn a lot of lessons along the way, and the players were going to learn a lot of lessons. You know, I know when I was speaking to Dave at the end of the season, he was slightly maybe disappointed that, you know, I remember we were going into the last game of the season, DLR Waves, and victory and possibly even a draw would have got maybe top of tier 2, and as it turned out, it was a second bottom. It just shows you the difference that and the tight nature of the league. Well, I suppose it's probably early to say, like, but what would be the ambitions? Would it be just maybe to improve on that finish in the short term?
Well, look, first of all, we're in 2 competitions as it stands. We're in the Women's National League, and we're going to be in the FAI Cup. And the competitive nature of us will want to win every game and will want to be successful. So we'll be like everyone at the start. We will have look, we will want to win. Like, it's only our competitive nature. But yeah, look, we do have targets. We do have ambition. But we very much know that's only going to be possible if we apply ourselves correctly. That we create elite level of performance both on and off the pitch, and you know that we create an environment where players are buying in to what we want to do, and we've just put the work in. But we very much are looking to bring something new to the league that hasn't been done before. We're going to be brave. We're going to be bold. We're going to be very exciting to watch, and I suppose time will show all in terms of where our ambitions will be moving forward. But to be honest, Adrian, I'm very much looking forward to the challenge. The staff, we're very much eager. The club are very much supportive and very behind in everything we want to do at this moment. And like I said, we just can't wait to get going now.
Yeah, people will be delighted to hear your passion and optimism, Niall, for sure. It's badly needed at senior football level in this city and in this whole region, really. Obviously, it's probably the only disappointment is that we're still going to be uncertain in terms of support. You know, it looks obviously realistically it's going to be unlikely that when the season starts there's going to be any spectators there, which is probably the only disappointment. But obviously you would urge spectators to get behind the team once that's obviously available to them again.
Oh yeah, look, absolutely. We want as many people as possible that are passionate about the game of football in Limerick and in the Midwest Munster region to be supportive of the club and of obviously the senior women's team moving forward. And you know, we very much want to we are very much going to take great pride in representing Limerick and the Midwest Munster region. You got to look at it as well. Limerick, it's the home of the All-Ireland Hurling Champions. It's the home of Munster Rugby. And we very much want it to be home of a very proud and elite soccer club as well. And look, like I said, I'm not afraid to speak out for the world to hear and see it. Look, we are ambitious, but we know where we are at this moment. But we very much want to achieve great things moving forward. And we want to make the people of Limerick, the Midwest Munster region, very, very proud of what we're doing. And we will look to execute that via our performances and results on the pitch.
You'll obviously be very hopeful as well, Niall, of getting to the Markets Field at some stage in the new campaign. Obviously, it may be still up in the air slightly. I know the club had to use Jackman Park due to situations outside of either side's control, really. It's a great place to play, and obviously we probably, you know, even though it's great obviously as well that the Junior Council have got behind Treaty United and afforded you the opportunity to play at Jackman Park, particularly when we were stuck for a pitch at the time. But you know, obviously be hopeful to get back to the Markets Field as quick as possible also. Yeah,
well look, first of all, the Markets Field, it has that prestige about it, of course. But for me, it has an unbelievable playing surface. I was there a few times obviously last season. It was great. But to be honest with you as well, look, I'm trying myself, I was very grateful to Jackman Park, as we were as a football club. Their hospitality was just unbelievable. They were very accommodating. You know, the facilities were top class because, to be honest, as you know, Adrian, they accommodated the COVID protocols. And look, to be honest with you, I'm not too concerned. You know, if we're in Jackman Park, then so be it. We will be honoured to be in Jackman Park, as much as we would be in the Markets Field. But at the end of the day, it's a game of soccer. It's 11v11 with one ball. As long as there's grass and white lines and the nets in the goal, I'm happy. I don't care where we play.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny you mentioned there, Niall, about, you know, the fact that you don't mind where you play, because, you know, unfortunately in soccer in Limerick in the past it's been very divisive, and you know, and there hasn't been a lot of unity. I mentioned this to Dave a few times when I was talking to him, that, you know, it's great to see the fact that when you go and ask the Junior Council now, you know, for a playing surface, they're only too happy to help. You're just hoping for that unity, like, that can drive the club on as a whole.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, I think if you're going to be successful, if it's in sports or in the business world or anything in life, really, you have to have the mentality. It's all about the we and the us and what we can do for one another. And again, look, we very much want to take pride in the fact that we are in Limerick, that we are in the Midwest Munster region, and we want to build good relationships with everyone. And so, like, that everyone can see that we're looking to do things correctly in the right manner, build good relationships, and if we do them things correctly, then more will come. But yeah, look, it's been absolutely brilliant. Look, the support of everyone, to be honest with you, so far has been top class. And like I said, we're looking forward to doing everyone proud to the best of our ability.
On a final note, as well, Niall, on the growth of the club, obviously we know that Treaty United have looked to expand as such, with Girls Academy. Obviously, they've applied for licenses for the men's Artricity League and academy levels as well at boys level. Obviously, we won't find out until February 4th for sure, but it would be vital maybe for the growth of the club for that application to be successful, and we will certainly have fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, no, 100%, Adrian. Look, I think it's very important for, again, the Limerick region, the Midwest Munster region, that we have both women and men's football, and that we're providing a pathway for all the young players as well, that, like, for the boys, that we have a pathway from 14s, 15s, 17s, 19s into the first team. And same with the women. I say, look, we want to create an academy and a long-term structure where we've got an academy or 17s or 19s and into the first team. Absolutely, because we very much want to, any young aspiring players that are young, that they can achieve their dreams and aspirations through Limerick, through Treaty United in Limerick. Very much so. But the most important thing, Adrian, is that we do things correctly, that we think long term, that we're not looking for short term gain. Like, it's very much long term success, long term focus, and that we do things strategically correctly. And we have to be patient. We have to take our time, but we do things correctly. But look, I do believe, please God, that the men come in and the boys, because it would be so good for, again, everyone involved with Treaty, everyone in Limerick, everyone in the Midwest Munster region, to have boys, girls, men and women representing, they're proud, representing soccer in their area. And I look, fingers crossed, he said, Adrian, it does come in, because it is needed for both. And look, the main thing is that the club are very much equally wanting both sides of the game to be successful, and that's absolutely fantastic from everyone on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely echo those sentiments, Niall, and thank you very much for joining us this evening. I know you've probably had a busy schedule in terms of interviews and interactions over the last week or so since the announcement anyway. So, and we wish you the very best of luck for the new season, and we look forward to working with you as well throughout the year.
Oh yeah, no, look, Adrian, thanks very much. And look, just also with yourself, just talk credit to you and Sporting Limerick for all the work you do, just obviously for the Sporting Limerick, but even with the women's game, the soccer. Look, we really do appreciate it, and I, for one, certainly look forward to working with you throughout the year, Adrian.
Thanks very much, Niall.